YouTube, you saucy lot. Hope you're all right. It's your boy, the Blade Runner. Anyway, before we talk about the haircut, at the moment, getting to work, coming home from work, I'm using the train because my Focus ST has died. But I just noticed this behind me. I think it was meant to say clock house, but it says it's the cock house. So maybe it's a house for genitalia. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're well, as I said. And the haircut you're about to see is a guy who came in yesterday. Never met him before in my life, but he was recommended to me. What happened was he'd been somewhere else to another shop, and yeah, it was supposed to be a grade 4 and a skin fade, but yeah, they didn't really fade it. It was pretty atrocious, and I'm not going to name and shame the place, but in 35 years of cutting hair, I've got to say it's probably one of the worst attempts at a fade I've ever seen. Anyway, yeah, grade 4 on top, cheeky little skin fade. We're going to work some fibres through the hairline just to make it stand out a little bit. So enjoy the video. I'm out of here. I'll see you later, and hopefully I'll have a car soon. See you later. Indeed, so we're going to sort your hair out, are we? Yeah? Yep. Grade 4 on top, skin fade. Have we noticing that he's been somewhere, a barber he wouldn't normally go to, and yeah, so we're going to sort this right out and make you a happy bunny. Yeah? Sweet. We all good? Happy days. Righty ho then, let's crack on with the haircut. Now, I asked him before if he had actually cut his hair himself, and he was absolutely insistent and adamant that he hadn't cut it. Yeah, it was the guy who cut it. It was in the shop. He didn't think he was very old. I think the guy was maybe just starting out, and you know, we've all got to start somewhere. But yeah, he had it cut about a week ago, and he's just let it grow now. So I put the grade 4 on the clippers. I'm using the gold magic clips again, and I'm just going to go through. I'm not quite sure the length I needed to use to get rid of that line, but so we're starting off with the 4 on top. As you can see, the 4 at the moment, it's not going to be breaking down that line particularly. So once we finish with the grade 4 on top, we're going to go in probably with a grade 3. So yeah, work in all directions because yeah, we want to be getting rid of the actual excess hair on top and properly debulk it. Yeah, he was such a nice lad, and obviously he was gutted that he did, well, what happened to his hair. So yeah, here to sort it out for him. Now his fringe does kick up at the front, so I'm working all directions on the front as well. Yeah, so I thought I'd give these gold magic clips another go and see what they're like. And actually on shorter hair they are performing quite well. Okay, so I've put a grade 3 on the clipper, and I'm just going to be trying to just break up that line. But the guy who cut it before, he'd actually gone underneath the line. It's almost like he hadn't finished the haircut. You know, he got halfway through and probably just couldn't be bothered to finish it off, which isn't a good plan, is it? So yeah, working the grade 3. It's still not going to be short enough to take out that line. Yeah, feeding that 3 into the 4. Now I'm putting a grade 2 on the clipper. And that line is really starting to come out now. Yeah, when the hair's been cut like this or ruined like this, it's actually not too difficult to sort out. The worst thing is once somebody goes too high with the guards, like a previous haircut, and if it's too high, then it's always difficult to actually sort out. But yeah, this was actually fairly easy to sort out. Yeah, got the number 2 in there, and I'm just flicking it out. Yeah, but what a nice lad this guy is, or a nice guy this guy is, shall I say. You know, he came in and with his friend Henry. Big shout out to Henry for bringing him to me. Yeah, if you get a bad haircut, it makes you feel bad. You know, you can literally be wearing the best suit in the world. If your hair's not right, you're not going to feel right. Using no guard now, just starting to put my skin line in. Now, he didn't want to go too high with the skin, so we're going to work a slightly compacted fade. Yeah, he was quite dumbfounded of how the haircut was, and you know, it's hard to believe that a barber could have let that haircut go out. But yeah, using the beard brush just to get away all that hair, any excess hair. You know, if you're just using a comb and you're going through with the shorter grades, you're going to comb the hair off the head, but not all of it is going to come off. So yeah, the beard brush just sorts that right out. Using a grade 0.5 now, just going to start working that fade. So yeah, a lot of clipper companies, they bring out their various 0.5 guards. I don't think there's really much to beat the Wahl 0.5. I mean, the Basilisk guard is good. Some of the Tpob guards are good, but yeah, I really do think the Wahl guards are brilliant. But yeah, so I'm working closed to open. So yeah, just tiny little flicks. You know, if you're getting into barbering, you know, you don't have to like try and work as fast as what more experienced barbers do. You know, just slow yourself down, and that way you'll start to get really good results. There's too many like novice barbers or beginner barbers, and you know, they're trying to work at the kind of speeds that we work at, and it doesn't always work. If you're a barber just getting into the industry, you know, slow yourself down. And also the magic clips that I'm using, whether it's the red, the burgundy, the metal ones, you know, the black, the golds, you know, they're all very, very good. Now, in my last video, I said about this gold magic clip, and what I didn't actually mean to say it was a bad clipper, because it isn't, but it just hasn't evolved as much as what I thought what new magic clip would. But you know, all magic clips are pretty good, and they'll get the job done. So now working the grade 1. Yeah, anybody getting into barbering, I always think the magic clip, it is a fantastic clipper to use, because it's, I don't know if it's a combination, well, I think it's a combination of the stagger tooth blade and the slightly slower runtime. It makes fading that little bit easier. You know, if you're like getting into barbering and you buy a very fast running clipper, you're going to struggle to actually get the fade done, because you know, you're going to be snatching up bits of hair that you don't want to. With the magic clip, it's a lot more forgiving. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the 0.5 back onto the clipper and just touch up those tiny little bits. You know, when you've got your clipper guards, you don't need to be having the clipper lever totally open or totally closed. You know, work in between as well. That's where I think the click lever works really well. You know, Wahl don't seem to do the click lever. It's such a shame, really, because I think with a click lever, you know exactly where you are with it. Okay, I'm just going to bald it out with the Braun Series 9. Yeah, I really like this Braun Series 9. I mean, it's my go-to foil. It doesn't get it in quite as tight as other foils on the market,
but it's a much more comfortable fade. And you know, if somebody's got quite a sensitive head, you're going to find that if you're using like a Wahl finale or some of the Babyliss foils, it can be quite rough on the head, and you might rash the client up. So if you use this first of all, you know, you can go in with another foil afterwards, but I think it takes away, you know, all the tension in the hair. And you know, the Braun Series 9, it just goes through the hair so well. So now going in with the Babyliss foil. So it's a little bit more aggressive than the Braun Series 9, but this gets it in proper tight. But yeah, I used the Braun first of all because it's taken away all that resistance that the hair would have given me. And also using the Braun first, what it does, it stops you from having to keep on buying foils for your Babyliss or your Wahl, because it's just putting a lot less stress on the actual foil. Right, I'm going to go in with scissor over comb, and I've said this a few times, you know, scissors came out way before clippers did, and sometimes a lot of people, they just get so into using clippers, and you know, they forget about the art of using scissors or shears. Yeah, I had an apprentice a few years ago, and before he came to me, he spent a lot of money at a certain barber school, not going to name it, but you know, he spent thousands. And the thing was, when he came to me and I was retraining him, his scissor work or shear work was absolutely shocking. It was almost like he hadn't really done any shear work at all, but he's listed as a qualified barber. And I said to him, I said, how much shear or scissor work did you actually do? And he said in the time that he was there, they concentrated on shear work maybe about 2 or 3 days. You know, as soon as he learned good scissor over comb, yeah, he was absolutely flying after that. But yeah, you can be a lot more detailed with scissors compared to, say, clippers. You know, clippers, they definitely have their place, and it is for the majority of a haircut. But if you're actually using scissors as well, it's a great combination. So just going through the top, and again, scissor over combing. Yeah, just really defining that fade. Yeah, a lot of the time when you see people who've cut their own hair, you know, when they just put like a grade 4 on top, they've gone through it, and you see them a few days later and they get all these tiny little bits of hair just sticking up. This is where the hair has gone under the actual clipper and not gone through the guard. And yeah, if you're actually using scissors on top afterwards, you're going to catch those bits. And I've got to say, that is a pretty cool neck tattoo, or on the back of his neck, should I say. Yeah, someone once said to me, what is the difference between an average fade and a good fade? And the simple answer to that is a few minutes extra. Yeah, so, you know, literally, when you've done the fade, go through it afterwards. Really make sure there's no little bits that needs to come off. Right, so I'm just going to use the Tpob X trimmers just to line the front up a bit. Always make sure when you're putting that initial line in, your client is actually looking straight at you. If he isn't looking straight at you, there's a good chance it won't be dead straight. Now, I don't want that line looking too hard at the front, but you know, he does have a bit of a cow's neck to the right side of his head, So yeah, literally just evening it out a little bit. But yeah, I'm not going too crazy. I'm not going to be pushing him back to the 1980s. But yeah, just killing off that little cow's leg. Okay, I'm going back in with the magic clips. Not tidying up the beard as such. I'm literally just going to be feeding that beard into the skin fade, because nothing worse when you see somebody that the hair faded and they haven't touched the beard and there's that horrible line. So yeah, just literally just feeding that beard into the skin fade. Right, so I'm just going to blast any hair through. Any loose pieces of hair should be coming out. Now I'm just going to work a few little fibres through the hair. Don't want to go crazy with it. I think some people, when they use fibres, they just go that little bit over the top, and it can make almost like the hairline's being stuck on. Yeah, we want to keep it on a slightly more natural side, but still give them a little bit of strength just at the front. And then literally using my little brush just to take off any loose bits that I don't want on. And then with a bit of hairspray, that will just keep the fibres stuck to the hair just for that little bit longer. Just a final little touch up with the razor. I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of product on the hair just so it doesn't look too fluffy on top. Yeah, that's pretty much about it for the haircut. Hope you like it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, because it makes me a very happy bunny. But yeah, he was well happy. See you later.
How's that, big man? Good for you?
Perfect.
Happy days.